I'm Joseph Bonsma. I am the Marketing and Communications Manager for Peugeot South Africa, and this is my driveway walk around of the Peugeot 3008. It's my favorite elements of this car. I drive a Peugeot 3008 Allure Plus, and this will be my walk around. So what I did forget to mention is that I drive the 2-litre HDI, the diesel version. It does come in a 1.6 petrol, and mine is the automatic. But I just wanted to show what the fuel consumption is. So I'm sitting at about 8.5 litres per 100 when I was still able to drive. That is in traffic, Johannesburg traffic. However, that being said, I do drive a bit like a maniac, so you can get that right down to between 6 and 7 on long journeys, sometimes down to about 5.5. But at this point in traffic, realistically, you're sitting at about 8 litres per 100 if you don't drive like a maniac. 7, considering the dog doesn't want to stop barking, and you've got to love how we're doing this. So it would be a sin not to mention the aesthetics of this car. However, we'll get onto that shortly. But the one thing that has to be taken into account is that Peugeot are offering for all of its vehicles a 5-year, 100,000 kilometer warranty, but more importantly, service plan. This covers the vehicle for 5 years or 100,000 Ks for full services. It's not a maintenance plan. It does only cover what is required in a service, not a major service. But I've opted for the upgrade onto a maintenance plan, which covers everything except for your tires. What I would suggest doing at the moment is that we're running a promotion that includes an upgrade to a maintenance plan on the 3008 and 5008 vehicles, so I'd have a look into that. As you can see, this is a magnificent looking car. The exterior styling is clearly French. It has beautiful lines going from the grille all the way through round to the rear. The choices of color in the multi-tone on the wheels and up onto the roof, and taking into account the lighting, this car really does have a beautiful look to it. This car really does have a sophisticated look to it, from the rear styling right through to those claw marks in the lighting and the smooth lines that run right through the vehicle. It really does give it a stunning look and a sophisticated feel. So moving on to the rear of the vehicle, two very cool things that I'd like to show you. Firstly, we can pack quite comfortably for my wife and myself for an entire weekend away. As you can see, we both pack exactly the same. Moving closer, what I really enjoy about this car is that I can take this out quite simply and move this car into having a lot more space. These lie flat, these front or the passenger seats, and the difference between this car and most others that I've noticed is it has this lovely feature over here, which drops it from the rear, and you don't have to go and faff inside at the front and find yourself a lever to pull. So these spread straight down, and my wife can pack for a week. Another really cool feature, which I failed to mention in my previous review of the boot, is this. So as you can see, there is a rear 12 volt plug-in, which really comes in handy when it comes to the likes of a 12 volt cooler box or anything along those lines. One of my favorite features of this car is the Peugeot i-Cockpit. The i-Cockpit is the entire setup for the driver display. So it includes the setup of the steering wheel, your cluster, instrument cluster, and the infotainment system. So two things. Firstly, I want to show you one of my favorite elements. The Peugeot 3008 Allure Plus comes with nav. So on our piano key, you've got mechanical touch, mechanical system on buttons, and then a full touch screen over here. Shifting across though, what I really enjoy is this setup of the instrument cluster, because now you have your full navigation running on your instrument cluster in front of you, almost a heads-up display, but you can still shift across here and have your touchscreen infotainment system as you would have it. The entire range of Peugeots come with Apple CarPlay, which is quite cool, because even if you don't have full navigation, which you'll get in the GT lines, or like in this, the Allure Plus, you do have still full access to Google Maps, or Waze, so whichever your preference. So if we go, now unfortunately I can't go anywhere because we're on lockdown, but if I needed to, I can. Also full access to your Apple Music, anything you want to listen to. It's all on fully integrated, and it also has Android Auto. So another one of the small things just to make life easier is the connectivity to Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. So I touched on the infotainment system earlier, but I wanted to go into a bit more detail. As I said initially, you've got these lovely piano keys which allow for quite fast changes between your different requirements of the vehicle, whether it be your Android Auto, because this is now linked to my phone, other elements of the car. You can also link into your to what you need on your vehicle itself. Something that I like quite a lot in this vehicle is the underinflation. What it does is it will shout at you if it detects that your vehicle's tires are at different pressures. I've turned my parking sensors off because I've connected a tow hitch and the ECU isn't connected, so that is affecting my parking sensors. But as soon as I update that and put the full harness in, then I won't have an issue. It's for towing bicycles, by the way. There's vehicle settings as well, which you can run on, and that'll link to something which I'll show you later, which is the i-Cockpit Amplify. Okay. As you can see, there's more than enough space for a grown man, adult, to sit in the back and be quite comfortable. Air vents for the rear as well, individual, which is a really nice feature. And then also, if you have a look over here, there is a full drinks holder. But this feature I quite like myself is that you can drop this and have access to your items in the boot, which is actually really nice. Full reading lights for the passengers, set up individually, and a very comfortable ride, also including a third full safety belt, which is a very nice feature. In my personal opinion, I think this is one of the most underrated vehicles on the road in South Africa. It has a fantastic ride, incredible safety features, and along with the 5-year, 100,000 kilometer warranty, it really is
very good value for money. I thoroughly enjoy driving it, and it is one of the best buys that I've made in a long time. So overall, fantastic car, and definitely deserves a look or to add to your top list of choices looking for an SUV.